welcome back. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm just here, wanted to talk to you guys about some decks that I work on during the week, things I think about really. I just want to share some of them with you. I use FFTCG. If you guys don't, this is a good place for you to jot down your ideas when you're maybe away from home or you don't have all the cards. Just stuff for you to think about. One of the main things I do is I just start putting things on all together, like whether it's colors or categories, and then I start going from there. Some of the things I've tried that I probably won't go into too much detail today is Moogles and Monsters. What that revolves around is having a lot of the new monster cards, the 3-cost legendary Barts, and a lot of the monsters, and mostly Moogles. The backups are also Moogles. You have what's his name, No, and the Lightning one, and even Mog from 6 to help you draw. The new Moogle, the new Wind 4-star lets you draw also. It's an okay deck. It was supposed to be a tricolor deck, but it needs a lot of work. When I get it better and more controlled and down packed, I'll be happy to share that with you. I also have an Earth Wind here. It usually revolves around having the Vincent, Sid, and Yuffie cards, and Aerith as the backup to kind of protect everyone. That one I haven't tested because I just don't have all the cards, but after this tournament this weekend, I'll definitely have that for you guys. I'll definitely try to put it together for you anyway. This Earth Wind standard units, I don't even remember where I was going. I think this is Earth Water, but I made it Earth Wind category. But it was supposed to revolve around the Dark Knights and the legendary Tidus from Opus 1. Because the Dark Knights benefit you from having multiple damages, and so does the legendary Tidus. But it was weird. I haven't gone to locals lately, just because they haven't had a tournament. The next tournament will be after the 20th in Tampa. So what does that be? The 27th to the 26th, the following week. So yeah, and then the Fire and Ice Sabin Final Fantasy VI deck. Also just messing around with it. I'm actually playing Final Fantasy VI right now, so it's fun for me to look at it and to play with those characters, to know more about them. Now that I have a better background of them, I've obviously played it before, but I don't remember it. I was very young, and I'm just playing it again. I'm probably going to go through them all slowly and play them over in a new light, with a new mindset. But I guess the main three I want to talk about to you guys is Black Ice. I know you guys saw the duel series last week. They were featured. They only had 2 duels, but I definitely want to work on this. I had more ideas about it earlier. See, for now it's just like these are the forwards: Sid Reigns, Locke, Renoa, Genesis, Laguna, Squall, Terra, Emperor, Vayne, and Setzer. It kind of goes with the 6 engine too. You kind of want to have Locke get rid of the cards off your opponent's hand. And same thing with Genesis and the Squalls and the Laguna combo. But yeah, that's what that revolves around. I'll play the Shivas, the Zaliras, and the Zodiark. Ideally, I wanted to have 2 Emperors, and I do have 2 Emperors, but the Zodiark is just sometimes this deck has trouble getting over things, and the one Zodiark helps you just deal with that stuff. And for the backups, it was Summoner, Black Mage, and it's weird. I know I'm playing Chaos, but this lets me play the 2 backups that I need, like the multiple dark things, and you'll see in a sec. I have Jill Nabat, Duke, Sid, Devout, and Zemus. The reason I think Ice would benefit a lot from Zemus is because of Genesis and Locke. When those cards deal damage, your opponent has to discard a card, and that forces them to either try to find a way to get rid of this. If you're not playing Earth or Wind, it's going to be very difficult, and unless someone's playing the Sephiroth, the cost 8, or the promo 4 cost as well. But I think Zemus is such a great card for ice decks. That's just kind of one of the main things. So this is kind of just what I was testing. I've gone through a few versions of this already. This isn't even the one I left off on, but that's just the idea I wanted to share with you guys. The next one is the YRP, Uniriku Pain. This one's a mess, honestly. I don't know. I don't like playing it so much anymore now that I've gone into mono water. As you can see here, I have Dancer and the Lena, Knight, Bartz, Pain, Ritz, Titus, Waka, and Cecil. I tested this deck out. It was just slow. I don't know. I definitely think this deck needs the 4-cost Wind Moogle forward, and Yeah, it just needs a lot of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to start over from the first deck I used to play, way back when I first started taking tournaments and stuff. Because back then it was good. That was back when it was just Opus 3. But now with Opus 4, this kind of changed. I know I tested the no-no, and the no-no is no good in this deck. So it's literally a no-no. Because you do have enough refresh. Well, I did previously with the Trey and the Diablos. But even with the Pain here and the Aerith, you don't need no-no as much as you think you do. I guess the only reason you would play the no-no is if you would do the no-no Zemus combo in this deck. But that's just, it's too many backups already. I'll show you guys what I mean right now when I show you the water deck. But I've realized playing 19 backups is a little uncomfortable for me now. I definitely need more forwards and summons to play. But I'll get into that. But yeah, these are just some of the decks. I will leave the description in these three anyway. The Black Ice, the Black Ice, and in the description below for you guys to check them out. Just so you guys can leave your comments here, and you can also swing by FFTCG. Yeah, that's it for these. And then the one I want to talk to you most about is what I'm taking to Tampa this weekend coming up. I will definitely cover the event. I will show you guys what it's like, and I don't know if I'll get a lot of other deck profiles or anything else, but I'm really hoping to top 8. The prize support is fantastic for this one. It's definitely a lot better than the Ifrit Cup we went to, but you know, Cool Stuff is hosting this one, so it's going to be a lot different. Anyway, so the first, going straight into the forwards, it's going to be Ashe, only at 2. She's a great card, but I don't really need her for her S ability. She's good for when you're fighting ice and also when you're fighting lightning and stuff like that, because she gets buffed when you target her. She won't die to the Alcid combo, I believe. Yeah, she gets to 13 and they deal 11. So she's a good first turn drop if you're fighting lightning. Beatrix is really good. She helps deal with she helps a lot in combat when she attacks and she reduces. And something that I guess a lot of people, or maybe not a lot of people, but I definitely overlooked, was when Steiner's on the board, she does not receive any damage from my opponent's abilities. So if she's on the board and I have Steiner, you know, Alcid is out of the window and all that stuff. And I really have to remember this. This is, I guess I'm getting used to it. But yeah, when Steiner's on the board, she gets plus 1,000 and she can't be dealt damage by abilities. So nuts. But yeah, Cagnazzo at 2. You want to be able to have your board clear, or Cagnazzo's a board clear, and as well as like a push for game. And I do use this tactic a lot, and because I am playing Porom in this deck, and I'll explain that in a little bit too. But Porom is helps me activate all my forwards. So pretty much what I do is I'll drop Cagnazzo, swing with all my forwards, get damage points, and then drop Porom to activate them all again. But yeah, like I already went into it. But anyway, Cagnazzo's good. Garnet at 3. Honestly, I feel like this deck is more mono water as opposed to category 9. I know I'm playing all the cat 9 forwards and cards, but it's just I use Garnet a little less. Maybe because I'm playtesting against a lot of wind, earth, and lightning and stuff like that I just find her a little obsolete. But I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm sure she'll put in a lot of work against my other matchups. Mog, because I'll still stand by this card. If you're playing mono water or any water variant and you want to speed it up, this card is great. Just draw a card, tap to draw a card. Great. I'm playing 2 Zidane. Again, it's like it is part of the cat 9s, but he's just really good. I started using his third ability a lot more. I mentioned this a while ago too, but when all your 9 forwards attack, you can summon him and just activate them all again. So you know, Garnet, Beatrix, Zidane, Steiner, they all, let's say I have them all on board, I'll swing with all 3, and then, you know, main phase 2, I'll summon Zidane, bring them all up, and I'm safe for next turn. Especially if I don't have, what's it called, Astrologian ready, or if I needed to use it, or if I'm fighting a lot of ice, or anything like that, he's definitely going to be helpful in those cases. Or Babas, if you run into Babas, and he'll just, you can let them all swing for free, you don't have to pay, and then he'll come in and summon them all, and that's fine. But yeah, so that also works for, you know, I can't remember, Steinhardt, Reinhardt or whatever his name is, the ice one as well too. Zidane does that really well. Now here's the Porom that I was talking about. Her effect is when Porom enters the field, activate all forwards you control. Now I'm really glad it's all forwards and not only your water forwards and stuff like that. But this definitely deals a lot with ice and also overextending. And she does have the S ability just for fun. Choose one forward you control during this turn. The next damage dealt to it becomes 0. So if it does engage in battle, it will not take. It's almost like a Waboku, if you will, for my Yu-Gi-Oh fans, to just not take any damage that next turn for one forward. But that really helps a lot. I haven't had to use the ability, and I haven't been in a situation where I use the S ability. But you know how it is. Sometimes you'll have it and you'll need it, and it's gonna matter. And so that's why I use her. Again, she definitely helps with when you're swinging and you want to be safe on your last turn. Really late game situations. I did test 2 other cards. I tested Semblance of a Witch and the other Opus 1 Tidus that when it swings, it deals 8. It buffs all my water forwards by 1,000. And that's okay, but some of those I feel like are too passive, I guess. I have to wait to swing and stuff. This I can do. Yeah, I have to wait for my turn, but it's almost offensive when I'll swing with everybody and give my opponent the sense of security that I won't have any forwards up. This is also a really great card to have in your hand if you get Chaos Walkered, and of course if they're not playing the 5-class Yuna. But the Chaos Walker will let you summon her, and it'll bring out all your forwards as well. I'm sure this might be good in something too where you have Tama if you're playing a Water Earth. Just swing to your heart's content, and then bring everybody back to active state. I'm not playing the fairies in this one, the water summon, so she helps out a lot. I've really enjoyed using her. And then we're going down to the Steiners. Steiners at 3. You already know what he does, but he's really good to have. I'm really using him a lot more now that I appreciate Beatrix's extra abilities. I play 1 Emperor. I hate the idea of having Emperor in my hand when Zidane's on the board, or vice versa, but I get around it somehow eventually. I usually let one of them die if I have to. I play the double Cecil. I know they pointed this out in 6 Ages, and Joseph pointed this out, but he's forced to block. But when you have this Steiner, you can dull him during when your opponent attacks, and he won't have to block. So you can keep him alive longer if you need to. And at first I thought it was just a nice little niche combo, but the more I play test it now, I realized that it's actually very good. Just keeping him alive, it prevents from a lot of things too. Aside from having Minwoo and Beatrix on board, he just helps add that security, give my forwards the extra power boost to help me push into the late game. I think what my water deck was suffering from in the back in the last tournament was late game. I would definitely excel early on, and the first 6-7 turns I'd get ahead and probably take the game. But now I would lose the longer matchups. And now that with this deck, I feel like I don't have that problem as I did before. So he helps with that as well. I have 2 of the other Steiners for the EX burst just to help me search. I don't know if you guys know. I'll explain in a sec, but he's just good for that, just to search in case I need it. I usually find myself searching the Beatrix now, as well as usually this Steiner, if I already have it on board or anything. But yeah, we'll go to the summons now. I have Belias because of the Garnet. I've already explained this to you. I'm also playing the Cyclops now because it helps with the whole idea of pushing, running over your opponent's forwards. And there's a lot of reduction in this deck already. So I have Chukulane as well, and I have Leviathan. But yeah, I find myself being able to swing over a lot of things if they're that much weaker than me. And I guess playing Lightning has taught me that too, with when they have Black Mage and Black Waltz now, and Black Waltz 3, and it's so much. And they play Cyclops, so I really appreciate this card a lot more. And it's good to stop the EX Burst. Both of these EX Bursts helps stop your opponent from advancing. If you have a forward and you get plus 1,000 haste and first strike, they're not going to swing anymore. If you reduce all their forwards by 3,000, it's very likely they will stop swinging. So, yeah. And really quickly, just into the backups, you guys will notice here that I'm playing 24, 11, 15. The reason I'm playing 15 is because, I don't know, I feel like water has a lot of good backups, but at the end of the day, you always only want to have these 5 on the board. Well, these 5 mainly because I play Keknazo. I guess the 5th one is up in the air for whatever you guys want. So let me explain. Astrologian, definitely a staple. It helps you deal a lot with ice. And I know I've said it before, but this is why I feel like water has a really good advantage against ice. It's just we're faster, and they can never keep us frozen for too long or in the dull state where they need us to be. So that really stops that. It also helps you when you, like I said, you can attack and keep a defense up while still having, gone for the offensive points. The Scholar is the one that I think's up in the air. The only reason I have it is because it is a 2 cost, but it also helps me do the Kagnazo board wipe, play, reduce all my opponent's forwards to break them. Between Kagnazo, the double Kagnazos, and the Cyclops, even the Beatrix sometimes is the 1 point I need just to get over stuff. There isn't much I can't reduce to 0, honestly. But yeah, and then Yuna for the water summons. I know I only have 5 water summons, but she makes Leviathan 2 and Chukulane 3, which makes them more manageable late game or throughout the whole game, really. And Minwoo, obviously, at 3 because you want to deal with all those pesky ping damage, as well as just when you run something over, you don't take extra damage. You don't take the damage as long as you're higher. And, again, going back to Beatrix and Cecil, I kind of usually have the power advantage, especially with Cyclops and Belias and all those things. Don't forget Garnet's effect too. Whenever I cast a summon, she'll buff everybody by 1,000. So, yeah. There's a lot of fighting potential in this deck. And obviously Waka, because this is a mono water deck, and the Waka just gives everyone else that other boost. So yeah, this is the deck that I'm taking this weekend. That's it. I've done the play testing. I've built it. I'm happy with it. The only thing sometimes you just want to make sure you open at least 1 2-cost backup. 1. It doesn't matter which one. Astrologian, Scholar, it does not matter. You have to try to open at least 1. So that's 10 cards at the beginning of the game that you can open either of these. The rest, you kind of want to get a forward 2, preferably a 3-cost. Mog would be ideal. Beatrix, Asher, Garnet, or Zidane even. We're all fine. But as long as you get Astrologian, Scholar, or Yuna in one of your first hands, you're set. The worst case scenario is if you get a Minwoo or a Waka, but you also open up Mog. You can pitch 2 for the Mog and hope they don't try to destroy him or bounce him back to your hand, because that'll kind of put you behind. But for the most part, he'll live at least a turn or 2, and you'll draw 2 extra cards that should get you to your backups that you need, and you'll be all set. So yeah, guys, this is it for the week. I know it's going to be a short video. I don't have any other dual videos this time, but I will get back to you next week. Hopefully a lot of content. And thanks for all my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I hope you liked the video and you check out some of my other decks. Yeah, have a good one, guys.